Hey guys, today I'm here with Gonçalo Castro Nunes. Gonçalo, we saw each other in Naples. Now we're going towards Qashqai, but before talking about the Fingal Cup, I would like you to give us an introduction about yourself, about your doing, and about your sailing career.
Okay, so my name is Gonçalo Castro, as Francesco just told you. I'm 22 years old, turning 23 next week, so barely 22. I've been sailing the Fin since 2023, the Silver Cup in Gravedona. I sailed it a couple of times before the Silver Cup, and I'm taking it more seriously for the last year and a half since the Gold Cup in Qashqai has been announced. I sailed lasers for a long time of my life. I started in the Optis when I was 7. Then I quickly moved to the lasers because I started sailing the fin now that I've gave up on the laser sailing. And it has been a ride. I've taken part in my first big championship in the fin class last month in Naples. It was a wonderful experience, a tough experience as well because starting in 111 boats is kind of chaotic and you're never really used to it unless you start doing it a lot. But it has been treating me well and got lots of room to improvement and to have fun.
So you're relatively new to the class. What do you think so far? What do you like the most?
Well, my favorite part is the competitiveness of the class. It's very, very tight, the upwinds, even if it, even though it's a big racing area, so 75-minute races, everyone gets up there within touching distance. And so it's a very competitive, especially upwind. Tactically, it's a very tough boat and a very tough fleet. And you've got the masters, which sometimes aren't as physically apt, but they have got loads of experience and tactically they battle it out really well. And so you got lots of room to improve. And you also, in this different part, in a social side, you learn a lot from people who are older than you and who have been sailing for more time, most of them more time than I was even born yet. So it's a really, really good place to know and to get to know people and to improve. It's a very technical boat, and so it's a- I'm enjoying it a lot for the last years and started to see real improvement in the last couple of months.
So Naples was your first big championship, let's say, with a lot of boats. As you said, there were 110 boats on the same starting line. If you have to give us a debrief about Naples, what would you tell us?
Well, the first thing is that it's very important to start on the right side, especially if there is 110 boats, because if you do a bad start, you might as well just say you only have clean wind in the next race because you got all upwind within wind shadows of the fleet and you cannot do your upwind as you want and you are forced to go into a corner. So having a good start is 95%. It's also important in smaller fleets, but in a big fleet like this, it's critical. I only started well in the last day, so it took me 4 days to get used to it. And another good debrief is that being fast downwind is the only way to recover after a bad start because upwind, the speed differences are so slight that you cannot recover from a bad start only in the downwind. So that's as a very important part of the Naples Europeans. On the racing side, we had wonderful conditions. The first day it was very like Qashqai in the summer, north, shifty, big shifts, short shifts, and different intensities on the race course. The rest, it was a perfect sea breeze, 10 to 12 knots, Oscar flag, and I think 85% of the downwind. So loads of fun. And it was a great championship, a great event, very well organized. So and I was glad to take part in it.
And technically, so you saw 110 boats preparing on land and then sailing. So technically, what is that thing that you take home with you that you say, okay, besides starting, okay, we said that it's fundamental. So I want to see you first row, first start in Qashqai, but technically, what do you bring home? What is something that you saw other people doing that you say, okay, that I need to do?
A lot of things. There were some secrets told to me that they were asked me not to tell everyone, so I'm going to keep those for myself. But there's a lot of tuning and a lot of differences between the brands of material. Some people suit different cells better, and coming from the laser, which is the most one design class out there, to a fin class where you move rakes a lot, you mix the tensions, and you have loads of controls. It's a big difference and a big improvement, and starting to see how the rig tension affects your boat handling and how the different controls move your sail and manage your sail in shorter distances and in boat-to-boat races. Uh, Learned a lot from it.
And listen, like we talked about Naples, and you mentioned that the first day was a light Qashqai. So you are our Qashqai specialist. Um, how is it sailing there? Give us some secrets about Qashqai.
Well, it's very different. What we usually say, sorry.
Like, give us some secrets about sailing in Qashqai.
Okay, from May to September, it's very different than from September to May. But in the summer, in the Gold Cup season, we'll have two race courses. Race course Alpha, which is just like we had in the first day of Naples, especially in the summer, north winds, short shifts. It may be windy. It depends on how hot it is the day. So September, it may already not be too hot, so not too windy. And you also have Race Course Bravo, which will be more outside, not as many shifts, more of a stable breeze. We'll have waves, so it'll be wonderful. It'll be really important to be fast, more than in some other race courses. So it'll be a physical event, but not as windy as some people are telling and spreading the news. Uh, it'll be a great event. Uh, so if it's race course alpha, you can expect conditions like the first day in Naples for the ones that were there. If it's race course Bravo, I guess I'll keep some of the secrets to closer to the event so that people won't come. If I tell all the secrets, no one will come.
That's smart. That's smart. And listen, last time we had a Fingal Cup in Qashqai, you were basically just born because you were probably around 5 or 6 years old. So how does it feel now to be sailing another Fingal Cup event in Qashqai right now at 22,
It's a
23?
it's an honor. We'll also have the Finn Silver Cup together with the Gold Cup. So it's also, even though it's I would be Silver Cup even if the rule hasn't changed from 23 to 29. But being 29, under 29, more Silver Cup sailors will be coming, hopefully. And it's an honor and it's a bit of a pressure as well because you want to do well in front of your own backyard. So I've been sailing in Qashqai since I was 7. I've been racing in Qashqai since I was 10. I've raced there for 12 years. So especially in the summer, I know the racing course very well. So it's an honor and a pressure at the same time. It's a mixed feeling.
So people will have to follow you, especially on Course Bravo, because you know all the tips and secrets.
We'll see. We'll see. A lot of people. We have a big fleet from Qashqai coming, mostly Master, but also Frederico is coming back for the Gold Cup. He also knows the race course very well. We trained at her a lot during the years because it's perfect sailing conditions. You'll have 14 knots every day, waves, so it's a sailing paradise, I would say.
So you represent the club in Qashqai, right?
Exactly. Clube Naval Cascais.
So yeah, so I can sense that it can be a pressure. But how are you going to prepare for this Fingal Cup? Like Qashqai can be well, course Alpha can be a little bit lighter, a little bit flat water, and course Bravo can be a little bit more wavy, especially is it in front of Gia?
Exactly. In front
So
is in here.
So it can be a little, conditions can be a little bit different, but we don't want to spoil anything. So how are you planning on training for Qashqai?
Well, right now I took a small break after Naples to just get some exams from university done, and I'm coming back on the 1st of May, putting lots of hours in the water. I'm trying to put some weight till the Gold Cup because I reckon we'll race more in race course Bravo than Alpha, and more than that, trying to be as physically able as possible because 5 days of championship, it's going to be, it's not going to be as tough as people say. That was always what I was saying before, but it's always tough. Finn regarding 5 days. For some reason, it was called the men's heavyweight thing. It's because it's tough, and that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a tough championship. That's why it's a Gold Cup. So I want to be really strong, sail as much as possible in gear to get to know the conditions and to remember all the sailing time I had in the laser. I haven't sailed in gear that much since I moved into the fin because I hadn't had the opportunity, and taking as much time as there to remember the shifts, remember the tricks, remember the waves, trying to get the wave pattern memorized off the top of my head and have fun when the time comes.
Listen, you're again, we say you're new to the class. You start sitting in the Fin class 2 years ago, so you're really new. But how do you see Fin class developing, especially in Portugal?
In Portugal, since we announced the Gold Cup, and also before, Felipe had been doing a great promoting of the Fin class in Portugal, not mainly with Portuguese sailors, but in Portugal with Vila Moura Sailing and with the Fin Sailing Academy. And now with our president, Jorge Pinheiro de Melo, and we're getting a good fleet together in Qashqai. We're already 10 boats, and always there's at least three, four of us sailing every day. So it's improving really quick, always motivated by a big event like the Gold Cup in Qashqai. It brings a lot of ex-sailors. Okay, Worlds in Qashqai, I want to get back in sailing. I want to do it. Uh, it's always a, a good way of calling people back. And sadly, it's hard to convince youth sailors from Portugal to come back to come and try and fin because I'm not an average Portuguese. The average Portuguese is 175 and doesn't reach 80 kilos before they're 40. So uh, it's not an easy task to bring young kids to try and have fun in the fin. Nevertheless, me and the federation and the class we're trying out. We're trying to have one boat assigned to another youngster for the Gold Cup. We still haven't figured out how we're going to do it, but it's one of our projects, and it'll hopefully the class will stay strong after the Gold Cup and not only till the Gold Cup. That's our main objective.
Listen, one last thing is if you said that recruiting young people is hard, is not an easy task. But if you had a message to tell to give people like your young people like yourself, what would it be to join Fin class?
Well, first and foremost, you don't need to be super heavy to sail the fin. It's a physical boat, but if you're on the top of your physique, you don't need to be 100 kilos. You can be 85 or 90, which is nowadays also the average weight for a laser sailor. So if you're just a big laser sailor, you can sail the fin perfectly. And if you're looking for a way out of, well, because you've got lots of people that move into sailing and stay into the Olympic dream maybe a bit too long. And a lot of people should open their eyes and think, okay, is it really my dream, or am I just pursuing what I was mentally developed to pursue? Or maybe I just want to have fun and sail the fin and sail a lot of other classes. And sailing the fin, it's a great experience. Uh, you manage to connect with a lot of people from different ages and which may open doors for other selling careers other than Olympic selling. That was what I was trying to say, but I was missing the words. And therefore, more people should look into it as an alternative to the regular laser or 49er or 470 Olympic selling because you don't need to be that heavy. That's the main point. Most people say, "Oh, I cannot sell a fin because I'm not 2 meters. Oh, I cannot sell a fin because I'm not 100 kilos." Most people aren't. That neither the top guys aren't. If you go look at the guys that did well in Naples, apart from Danny's, the other two weren't 2 meters, 100 kilos. They're physically strong, obviously. They're athletes, but they're not 100 kilos, 2 meters. So you really need to see it that with the wider material range, you can sell it at lighter weights and be perfectly competitive or even higher competitive than some heavier guys with wrong material. So I would invite everyone that wants to try uh, to talk to me, especially if they're from Qashqai.
Muito obrigada, Gonçalo, for your time, and we will see you in Cascais for the Fingal Cup.